So, it is now time for us to do a Dave's Cooking Show bingo. And then we shall raid out. This is our treat for getting through those cartoons. So, while we're watching, we're going to be keeping an eye out because Dave has to give us a drink, he has to give us a starter, he has to give us some mains, and he has to give us a dessert. And we will have, for our bingo card, we have sugar on top of sugar, garden variety incompetence, racism, tell don't show, you should be dead, groan-inducing line, impressive incompetence, bootlicker, making a mess, incorrect, untraceable logic, arbitrary rules, mountain out of molehill, gnome tiptoes around TOS, failing to be cute, extra cheese moment, poison, like legit poison, groan-inducing line, how do you live like this, hate crime, keep the name of pickles out of your mouth, horrifying implications, racism, and misogyny. So, with that, you have 2 minutes to bet those bingo points, because with Dave, all things are possible. And by all things, I mean horrible things. So, go ahead and bet those bingo points as we take a look to see what we have. Alright. God, it's a lot of sandwiches. It's just always fucking sandwiches with him. I think for the drink, we're going to go with the old Cuban cigar. For our mains, we're going to go the PBJ pasta. But, like, we're going to see what we can get for, like, a starter. I think for our starters, we're going to go cheese bread. Oprah's cheese bread. We're going to see how it is cheese bread. PB&J pizza, because that sounds like at least a little creative. And now we need a dessert. Well, you guys are betting I'm going to look to see if we can't find a dessert. For a really weird, creepy fat guy, Dave doesn't do a lot of desserts, even though, like, all his food is mostly sugar garbage. I'd like to not do cookies, because we've done cookies, like, 18 times with him, and that's all he fucking has. We're sleeping through the bingo card, right? You can tell I don't like Dave. You can tell I find him absolutely disgusting. We've done Oreo fudge. That was disgusting. Well, it was at least competent. The fudge was competent. I will give him that. Let's see. Alright. How does he not have any desserts? This is disturbing. Like, I'm having to scroll down, like, years ago. His favorite dessert is alcohol and honey pots, right? Oh, God, poor Fiera. The way he talked to her absolutely made me upset. Okay, cognac and citrus French toast. It'll be the French toast. Chugs vodka. If I drank, I would do that too. Oh, God, I miss... I don't drink anymore for my own health, and watching how he drinks reminds me why I did that. Why I stopped. Alright, so let's take a look at our bingo, or bing no. So, 47% bingo, 53% bing no, 946 to 1.1k. Let's take a look, let's take a gander. So, we're going to start with our drink, the old Cuban cigar.
Welcome to Dave's Cooking Show, and for you today, we have a cocktail called the Old Cuban Cigar.
I wonder if this is going to be a play on... Down's a shot for Gnome. Thank you. You're a gentlewoman and a scholar. Is that because you think I'd be kind to her, right? Oh, okay. So I'm going to snooze that ad for 5 minutes so that you can all suffer with me. So I wonder if this is going to be a play on a Churchill's Breakfast, which is one of my old favorite cocktails. It was cold brew coffee. And what you do is you burn a cinnamon stick, and you'd put the glass over the cinnamon stick before you mix it so that it infused with the glass. And then you put coffee, bourbon, and a little maple syrup, and you stir it with the burnt cinnamon stick, and it'd be amazing.
All right, as you can see here, I have got my cocktail shaker. It's filled with ice. We're going to add 2 ounces of rum.
Already failing, but okay. Well, it's a Cuban cigar, so rum makes sense. Rum makes sense. Oh, it's the Churchill's Breakfast is delightful.
Then we're going to add about an ounce of simple syrup.
Okay. Rum is already very sweet, so why? Okay, so we've only been 48 seconds, but the silence feels fucking interminable.
Then about an ounce of lime juice.
Okay. Diabetes is why fair.
Couple of dashes of bitters.
Okay.
And then pop the top on and give this a shake.
So it's rum, syrup, lime juice. That's just sugar on top of fucking sugar already.
And then pour this into a glass. But we're not quite done.
As opposed to pouring it into what? A bucket?
Yet. And then you want to add and top this off with some sparkling wine, Prosecco, champagne.
Why?
Whichever. And that's that. The old Cuban cigar.
Why?
Done.
How is that... How is that in... So you don't need the Prosecco or the sparkling wine. That shouldn't be in there. That doesn't go with any of the flavors. How does this invoke the idea of an old Cuban cigar? Like the rum and the lime juice. I get that. Those are Cuban flavors. Those are Cubans. Those are Cuban flavors there. But these don't go together. That name is just it. You just chose a name to sound cool, didn't you? You absolute wasteoid of a human. Nope, we're not. No Tiptays were on TOS. And after the day, we have a Shauna picture, so we have that to look forward to.
Oh, time to take
Oprah's special cheese bread. I'm terrified to know how this is going to remind us of Oprah. Self-care. So self-care we've had a command for. It is a universal command. It means I need you all to give a quick stretch. Put something tasty in your mouth. I'm drinking, right now, coffee from the Congo, and it's delightful. And remember, you're a good bean who deserves good things, because you're not Dave. Prepare that racism.
Take a trip down memory lane once again. When I owned that little cafe on the road to nowhere. And I was Dave, chef to the star.
Ugh. Groan-inducing line.
This time I had to make Oprah her special cheese bread. A cheese bread that only I knew the combination to.
Okay.
And you had to do it really quickly. This was when she was completely off the wagon, and 30 minutes without something to eat was just unacceptable. So anyway, I sliced this Italian loaf in half. And proceeded to butter both sides. And then popped it into a 450-degree oven for about 2-3 minutes till it just started to toast.
Also, untraceable logic for the drink.
And after a couple of minutes, you can see it's starting to toast. Butter is kind of nicely melted there.
Is it?
And first thing we do is we lay down a layer of provolone. Then we add a little bit of soppressata to each side.
Why?
And then you want to add some black pepper hard salami.
Why?
And finally, some prosciutto to each side.
Again, I ask why. This is just a bunch of processed meats attached to some provolone and cheesy bread. What does this get? How does this make you think of Oprah? It allowed you to make a fat joke, but what's the point? I don't...
Prosciutto's like an Italian bacon. If for whatever reason you can't get your hands on prosciutto, but it's available in pretty much any grocery store, super Walmart, super Target. But if you can't, then just use regular American bacon in its place. Then, you want to pop this...
The flavor profile of prosciutto and bacon are incredibly different. especially the texture. You weird, aggressively terrible man. I'm gonna make my freezer eggplant. Ooh,
into that
eggplant parm sounds
450-degree oven for about 2 more minutes before we get to our
just
final,
mash it. Just mash it like the absolute ogre you are.
Okay, after a couple of minutes in the oven, we should be looking at...
Oh, God. It's like 30% grease.
It's something... Looks a little bit like this. We're not quite done yet, though. Now we're going to add a good dusting...
Oh, aggressively so. You throw a little prosciutto with dill?
Whole milk mozzarella. And then you want to basically pop this back into the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes, or until the cheese is melted and golden bubbly to your liking. So after about 5 to 7 minutes, you should be looking at something a little...
That's horrific. You know what? Oh, God. That is not food. That is... Okay, back when I was a kid, my mom would work like 50, 60 hours because she needed to feed her children. This looks like something that if I had made as like a 12-year-old, I would be made fun of relentlessly by my friends. Hey, Shrek was an ogre and he's fine being on the same level as Dave. Especially since Shrek has vastly successful life. Yeah, Shrek is a family.
A little bit like
and
that.
people love him.
I maybe had to pull mine just a little bit early.
Dave has none of that.
Because out in the dining room, Oprah was threatening to eat a baby deer. Yeah, I know, it was the damnedest thing. She gobbled this down in like 3 bites. So anyway,
extra cheese.
Until next time we go down that memory lane to that little cafe on the road to nowhere, I've been Dave, chef to the stars.
God, that was trying and failing to be cute. So whereas you should be dead and making a mess away from Bingo. If he makes a mess, or he does something that makes us think he should be dead, pulled it out early and she gobbled it up. Oh, yes he did. Yes, he did. And I'm wondering, that's a groan-inducing line. Ugh. And we're only halfway through. We're halfway through, guys.
Welcome to...
We've got PB&J pizza. Also incorrect.
It's Curtain Show, and for you today, he's
done things that are just incorrect.
have a PB&J pizza. We start off with me working with my rustic pizza dough, which consists of 5 cups of flour, 1 packet of instant yeast, a teaspoon and a half of salt.
Don't show us. Don't show yourself making the pizza dough. Don't show Dave. That's fine. That's fucking fine.
2 cups of cold water, and a tablespoon of olive oil. Then I added everything into my mixing bowl.
Oh, savage! That sounds delightful. Spicy Italian with ham, pepperoni, capicola, Swiss, pepper jack, and a bit of vinegar. That sounds delightful.
Put the
now I'm hungry.
Stand mixer dough hook in, and let it go.
There's literally a hole right there.
For about 10 minutes.
Yeah, just slop the sauce. That's fine.
Then I divided them into 8-ounce balls, put them in Ziploc bags individually, and let them rise and ferment and do all the wonderful stuff in the fridge for 3 days. I believe I also let the dough rise one time right after getting done with it.
I believe I did this. I'm not actually going to show it. I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to tell you what I did rather than actually do the thing.
Punch it down, then went into the fridge. All right, and now you're into my rustic pizza sauce, which is 28 ounces
Sometimes
of
you just
tomato sauce, a tablespoon of olive oil, 3
Oh,
cloves of minced garlic, a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar, a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, a teaspoon of black pepper, and a quarter teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you're sensitive to spice, you can obviously leave the quarter teaspoon of
Tell, don't show, Dave. Tell, don't show. Don't actually show your audience that the food you're making. Just tell them how to do it. Because, obviously that's how you do it, where you just look up all recipes instead of actually doing anything creative or interesting. And my God, this is an absolute disgusting mess. And, this is a mess of a pizza. And you've already spelled outside. You're making a mess.
Red pepper flakes.
Oh, wait, making a mess. That gets us a bingo. That gets us an actual motherfucking bingo. Oh. So Dave has got us a bingo in literally like 3 minutes. Congratulations, bingoers. Congratulations. We're really doing well for bingos tonight. I'm really proud of you guys. Or proud of the cartoons that we've been absolutely forced to be exposed to. So, with that, we're going to start another prediction. Will we get another bingo? Remember, for bingo, all we need is "you should be dead." We might get a... let's see here. We also get "how do you live like this?" and a hate crime. I'm so mad I'm internet yelling. Me too. It's greasy, but when I'm at 3 hours into an 8-hour shift, it keeps me going, even if my heart doesn't quite appreciate it. I get that. For some insane reason, I didn't vet bingo. No worries. You have another chance now. We have 1K bet on being no, and 1 minute and 30 seconds to bet those bingo points, friends. You can do it. Who will take up the challenge? Who will go against the one person who's bet 1K on bingo? Will we see a bingo? Do we perchance to dream? Ooh, 10% bet on bingo. So if you win 13.5 times your bet on bingo. 7 to 93%. 80 versus 1K. This is a good day. A good day to bingo. I'd restart it, but we have 56 seconds left in the betting, and we have about 2 minutes left in Dave's video, because goddamn, he never shows himself cooking. He just shows like an absolute atrocity, and then pulls out an abomination that he's created. Come on, y'all, take my points. Shauna's trying to escape having points. She knows the temptation. The temptation of points. And I think she won like a whole bunch of them on the last Super Friends episode. I'm trying, alright. 1.1K to 1K. 3 against 1. Can Shauna hold the line? Can her cranky pants hold? Can her cranky pants hold? We shall see. Alright. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, coffee.
It's out.
Nice, 8K.
Right. As you can see here, I am dusting my pizza with a generous amount of mozzarella, just enough to cover it.
And not even in any shape, way, or form, so you're going to get inconsistent cheese on every slice.
Just enough, because remember, there is such a thing as a too cheesy pizza. Not a saucy enough pizza, but a cheesy enough. Then we're going to want to add some bacon to this.
So this is a peanut butter and jelly pizza, and we're just past 2 minutes of a 3 minute and 40-second video. And there's been no mention of peanut butter or jelly. I'm getting concerned. Also, arbitrary rules.
Everything is better with bacon, and it's one of the 3...
Disagree. I absolutely, the PB is pepperoni and bacon. Ah, there we go. That makes sense now. Also, I disagree. I'm going to say something that's going to be a little bit of a food hot take. I'm tired of bacon. I don't like bacon. I think it's overdone. And it, like, I grew up during the early 2000s when there was bacon everywhere, and it was so exhausting. It's like, oh, bacon soap, bacon gumballs. Go fuck yourselves, people on Subdownload. Hey, more for you, because I don't want it.
Letters of PB&J pizza. And by the way, if you...
Wait.
And by the way...
There we go.
And by the way, if you never... Oh, by the way, you should have your oven preheated to 550 degrees. And if you've never done, like, a make-your-own pizza night, you really... Then we're going to want to add some bacon to this.
Okay, he made mention of it being a PBJ.
Everything is better with bacon, and it's one of the 3 letters of the PB&J pizza.
Oh, God, you were right. Oh, that's upsetting.
And by the way, if you never... Oh, by the way, you should have your oven preheated to 550 degrees. And if you've never
why not
done
just
like
light
a
it on
make-your-own
fire?
pizza night, you really should. It's a great, like, family event. Get everyone...
How would you know, Dave? You don't have a family. You live with your mother and father in their spare room.
Involved. All right, now we're going to be adding some pepperonis to this. For, of course, the P. And finally, some jalapenos. These are, of course, the pickled jalapenos. You can find them in any decently sized grocery store. What, you actually thought it was going to be peanut butter and jelly? Anyway, you want to bake this for 8 to...
Yeah, I did, because that would be actually creative and interesting. I thought a peanut butter and jelly pizza would be interesting. You could do a tomato jam for the jelly. You could do like a keep pickles out of your mouth. Check. Yes, 100%. Like, you could do a really cool, interesting idea. Like, you could do a tomato jam as your, like, it'd be kind of a little bit sweet. And so what I'd do is I'd roast peanuts with it. I'd roast the peanuts, and it would be kind of like for the peanut butter. And then, you could do, because that would give the saltiness. You do a sweet and salty pizza where you do, and you find, like, you'd want, like, that could be cool. This is a food crime. This is an absolute abomination. How does he live like this? Jesus Christ. How does he live like this?
10 minutes in a 5...
Bacon is meh. I've never been moderately fond of bacon. I like sausage more. Right, same here. I also have a restaurant near me that does bell pepper mushroom and feta. Oh, that's
500 in that 550 degree oven we talked about.
Oh, that cheese is gonna get baked onto that pan. That pan.
See you at the end. And through the magic of cooking show editing, our pizza is done.
It looks so sad.
So that's the PB&J pizza.
Oh, it looks so sad. Peanut butter and jelly calzone. Ooh, that would be interesting.
Done.
That looks upsetting. That looks like he has made the crust too thin here, so you can see it's already kind of collapsing. He doesn't drink liquor. He drinks cheap swill beer because liquor is too hard for him, and he larps manhood. I'm not showing any of his political stuff on here because, quite honestly, you're all like, if you want to look it up, do so, but I will not show his disgusting political opinions on my show. It's just too aggressively terrible. He disgusts me that much. I try to keep it light here. I try to keep this place a safe place. And because, quite honestly, I think that we all need a safe place where we can just be, like, funny little guys. But if we go into his actual streams, he's too disgusting. There's enough people covering his stupidity? Exactly. I leave that to Raptor. I leave that to Poonages. I leave that to Iron Gullet. I leave that to Jake. Michi, where are we headed after this? Let's see what the cognac and citrus French toast is like. Pete Dorr? Lovely. We'll check out Pete after this. I like Pete. He's good people.
Welcome to Dave's Cooking Show.
Pete's good people.
For you today, I have a cognac and citrus French toast. First thing we gotta do is get 6 large eggs into a bowl.
How much French toast are you making?
And then add...
I know you don't have other people in your life that you're feeding.
Add a cup and a half of milk, along
And I follow
with
Jake,
a quarter
the man
cup
behind the food, right?
of orange juice.
Good lad.
Then, I know this will seem like a lot, but trust me, you'll need it. You'll want 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract.
No, you don't. 1 tablespoon will do fine. That stuff goes far.
Then, you want to add 2 tablespoons of cognac to your bowl.
Cognac.
Cognac, brandy, whichever you prefer.
There's a very big difference, Dave.
Then you want to add a tablespoon of...
We're going to have to click make some mess again.
Sugar. And then you want to add a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. The zest of 1 lemon. And a pinch of salt.
You might also want to add the juice if you're making it a citrus French toast, because that's going to get... The zest of that lemon is going to get the drowned out like nobody's business. You've got cognac, which is a very strong flavor. You've got vanilla extract, which is a very strong flavor. Both are very powerful. They're going to... Zesting a lemon and calling it citrus is kind of like me trying to... It'd be like me trying to cut down a tree with a knife. Like a little pocket knife.
After that, whisk it together to form our batter. And
But already this is like a cacophony of flavors.
And we'll be ready to dip our toast. Okay, we have a griddle on about medium heat. And...
What the hell did you do to that stove, sir? Oh, God. Oh, God, has that ever been cleaned? Oh, God, you should be dead. This is your cooking surface? You should be dead. Also, we've had several Tells Don't shows that I haven't clicked, but we also are doing it. You should be dead, sir. Oh, God. This is how you deal with cleanliness in your kitchen? You sick bastard. Whew, that's a bingo. That's a bingo, because that man should be dead. That man should be long dead. Do we have... I don't think we have enough time for another bingo. So, we're just going to finish the last minute out, because, dear God. This is generally a firehead. Yeah, 100%. He's going to set up... Things will light here.
Of course, I melted a decent... a bit of butter...
a bit. That thing is swimming.
On it, and time to fry our French toast. I decided to use Texas toast for this. You could certainly use day-old French bread if you like. But for me, just me, nothing beats Texas toast for French toast. So these will take a couple minutes aside.
Like, I'm sure you have an opinion. You have a reason for your opinion. Share your opinion with your audience. Have some showmanship. Engage your audience, you sad bastard.
And then we should be ready for plating. Also, just in case, don't forget to flip them.
Oh, look, it barely touched the surface.
Take about 2 minutes aside. Okay, and to finish them off...
Is that a disposable plate?
Maple syrup. And get real maple syrup. It's a lot better than the stuff in the entree.
We've already had a redemption of Lead the Raid, my dear friend. But if I will go ahead and put their name in the list so that we will raid them on the next stream.
Jemima bottle. So anyway, that's it.
All right, what was the...
That's it. A lot better than the stuff in the Aunt Jemima bottle.
Okay.
So anyway, that's it.
Have a great night, Savage.
Citrus French toast. Done.
Okay, well, that was terrible. That was aggressively terrible, and I hated that. No worries. You're all good, buddy. You're all good. Alright, so that was Dave Bingo. And, yeah, oh god, that was aggressively terrible. It was aggressively terrible. Dave's food is bad, and he should feel bad. If the Vampire King was the one we